Good evening, everyone. Um, Hello, I'm April, and I wanted to come on this evening, Erlisha and I, to have a conversation around some of the inequities that we continue to experience for our children in schools located here in Hillsborough County Public Schools. My position tonight is solely speaking as a parent, as a guardian, as an advocate, because what seems to be happening so frequently in our district is that our concerns are being just disregarded, devalued, ignored, and basically made to seem as though we're not important. And when I'm saying we're not important, that's based upon the experiences that our children and we are having as it relates to advocating for our children. And when we say our children, we don't necessarily mean our children only in the home. We mean children collectively that are sitting in the classrooms with our children. So I'm going to start out because yesterday there was a board meeting. And I know on my social media, I have been putting, some small posts out there asking questions. Move slick. Trying to ask questions as it relates to how would you feel in the event specific things happen to you as it relates to your children on a school campus. So the board meeting was on yesterday, and Erlisha had an opportunity to speak on my behalf as it relates to an incident that occurred at my grandson's school, which is Woodson Leadership Academy, as it relates to him being signed out by an agency with no ID presented, no logout in the logout book, no logout in the computer system. And it was indicated by office staff that they did not know who took him, that it was just someone from the agency. The question is not about the agency being capable of removing him from the facility. What's in question is how can a child be allowed to leave a campus and unknowing of who the agency is, who that person is, and so on and so forth, without knowing the legalities as it relates to any type of legal issues that are going on that could have been very well the person coming to get him that should not have been coming to get him. What it is made to believe on the school board meeting on yesterday is that this particular agency often comes and get him, and that this was just one mishap. That is a blatant lie. It's a lie. Tell the truth. It's a lie. That is not what happened. This agency has come to pick him up after school where there's no sign out required. And it has been different people. That's because that's what the court order required. The court order instilled. The court order makes sure that there are specific procedures that are in place in the event that other areas are void. But that's not what's important here. What's important here is that it's a lie. He was removed from the campus. The individual was not asked for ID. The individual's name was not asked. And the front staff, while eating their breakfast, and I asked them, okay, who signed Darian out? I don't know. Someone from the agency, and proceeded to describe the woman. They did not have the woman's name. There was no sign out from the regular sign out, or what should have been in place that I've always known of is an agency book. So one thing we're not going to do is disregard what occurred, act as if it was something else, because that's not what happened. That is a blatant lie. Tell the truth. Take accountability for it. Identify what we're going to do to take measures so it don't happen again, but don't lie. Don't lie. Tell the truth. Because the only reason why I got upset, as I should have, is because they could not tell me who signed him out, what agency took him, because I'm very clear on being competent enough to read documentation and know how all of this works. We're not questioning that. But what we are questioning is, how did it happen? And then to give a blanket statement to say that it has happened before and it just was a minor, just brush it off, unacceptable. And I've yet to hear from anybody at administration to address the issue. I've yet to hear any follow-up as it relates to the whole matter in itself, outside of someone calling from the superintendent. I think it's called a regional office. I don't even recall, but I have not heard from Mr. Matthews' office. But what I do know is it happened. I can account how it happened, and I know what did not happen. They did not ask for identification. It could have been someone that came off the street, said they had an ID, located his, it could have been anything. So yes, I went in panic mode. And it was reckless for it to be stated as if it was otherwise. I don't care if a child is attached to any agency, it is still insensitive, unprofessional, and in my opinion, reckless as it relates to what happened to him. We're so tired of things just being placated like it's not that big of a deal. That was a big damn deal. It shouldn't have happened. There's a lot of other things that are happening there, but I won't go into. But what I will say is this. Do your part. Do what's expected for all children. And none of these conversations will have to be happening where it seems as though it's one-sided. Because that's what the story always end up being. Oh, there's 2 to 3 sides to every story. Well, the only side that matters is the parent side. You know why? Because our children are being placed in your care on a day-to-day basis, and their needs are not being met. And I'm sick of it because I bust my behind every day to make sure that the students sit in my classroom, their needs are met to the best of my ability. All while we got the state walking through, the district walking through, demands when placed on us that are just unrealistic. They're not realistic, but it is what it is. I do it because I am here to serve children. So when I send my child on a school bus, regardless if he's attached to an agency or not, I expect very damn well him to be taken care of and everybody on that campus know who he's with or who he left with, period. So tell the truth. Because if it happened to mine, it has happened to others. Anybody that walk on the campus should be signing in. There is no opportunity to make a mistake. You don't make a mistake like that. Do something different. It demonstrates some type of compassion and empathy outside of empty words and then try to portray something that is not. I care about mine all the way through, 110%, attached to an agency or not. Being that you don't know the big picture, just know this. That one right there, death for him, all the way to it. Go to war for him, all the way to it. But what we're not going to do is act like something that did not happen. Something that did happen, did not happen because it happened. We're sick of it. Now let's fast forward to my nephew. He's going to Middleton High School.
All right.
He goes there because that's his neighborhood school. He goes there because he wants to be there, because it was asked, would you like to go to another school? And he said no. But you know what? He's not receiving an equitable education. He's not.
He's not. None of them are.
For the entire quarter. He was awarded a D for the class. Now, my question is, how? For over 75% of the time, there was not a teacher, a consistent teacher in front of him. He was being moved from classroom to classroom, sometimes not even having a teacher show up, no assessments, worksheets, handouts, you name it, but we awarded him a D. I want to know how. How was it awarded? And please know it's not because of lack of communication with administration, not because there's not a lack of communication with the teacher that was in place there, that expressed that she had high concerns of being placed in that position and did not deserve to be constantly pulled back and forth in a position that she was not designed to be in from the beginning. Where's the equity in that? Make it make sense. Because at this point, there's no excuse as to why so many children have these pockets of incidents that happen that can impact their lives, not just now, but in the future. We want him to graduate. I'm trying to turn things around for him, but we have high expectations for him, but there are no high expectations when it comes to everyone else that's involved. Not disrespectful, not going to be sitting around cursing nobody out, not going to get into too many confrontations unless you do something to him. But he going to be on that phone and them earbuds going to be in. You know why? Because he feels nobody gives a damn about him anyway there. Let's be honest. They just shuffling them around the school. They just treating them like cattle. That's how he said he feels. And we're not going to invalidate how he feels. He's vocal. He said that to me. Have we reached out for help? Yes. Has the same response of the advocacy for help been reciprocated? No. But we're going to make it seem as though all is well. It's not all well. It's not all well for the children in my house. So therefore, there's a problem. There's a problem. Y'all want to immediately, y'all meaning anybody that wants to immediately devalue what I'm saying and invalidate what I'm saying because I'm advocating for my own children and children that look like them. It's not right. And for those that sit back and don't say nothing, you are part of the problem too, because you should be helping and supporting me advocate for these issues. But we sit silent. You think I don't get tired of always having to come and bring matters that is going on that's not productive for children, and especially now my own? It's tiresome as hell. We need y'all to do something and stop sitting around at these meetings acting as though it's all well and done. It's not. It's not. I'm finished ranting. All right, Alicia. Because I'm about to yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say now. It's a mess. We know Middleton is a mess. The administrators know Middleton is a mess, but yet we have administrators having conversations like it's not happening. It's not okay. It's not okay. How did he get a D in a classroom with no teacher? Did he not color the worksheet he received? Because that's all they're giving him is worksheets and circles, and like they're juniors. No junior should be receiving worksheets. Yet the school to prison pipeline doesn't exist in Hillsborough County. We're making sure that our boys, Black and brown boys, are sitting in these classrooms with no teachers, but we busting kids from other communities into their school, and they have certified teachers in front of them. But they wonder why the boys are so angry. They know them teachers don't care. They know it. The community either. NAACP, any organization that has in their mission to advocate for the youth and they're not, is a part of the problem. Any organization,
all of
any
them.
Fraternity, sorority. If you see the problem and you haven't said anything, you are part of the problem. Enough is enough. We pay all these money to be in these organizations to do what? Just to take pictures? We know what all y'all look like. Like, stop the photo ops. Stop the bull. Stop the bull. Because if they don't pass FSA, we're going to have 20 plus Black and brown boys from Middleton not being able to read going into their senior year. But where's the advocacy? Where's the support? Where's the community? And I'm still waiting on a follow-up from the school board meeting yesterday. Oh.
And then it goes without question to say this. Let's just say we're short on teachers. Let's just pretend that's the case. Pretend. By now, we should have a plan B. By now, before the second quarter rolled in, we should have had a plan B. Where's the plan B?
There is a plan B. The plan B is to take reading out of the school because it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's
an elective. That's what it's
elective. Yes.
So the same elective designed to help them capture skills that are necessary to be able to pass FSA, if that's still this, because I think certain groups of kids are still going to be required to take FSA and the EOCs are still there. I'm not high school material, so I don't know. But the bottom line is make that make sense. Because we don't have, or we're not equipped, or we did not plan properly for this core group of students that are high needs, we rather just completely wipe away the class because It's easier. That's what you're saying.
That's what they're saying. Which it makes
Yeah.
no sense to me because I'm sure those district employees they had there for the first 20 days can come back and sit in that classroom and teach.
And they can.
I'm sure the administrators that's walk around that school throwing out their titles, doctor this and doctor that, to go in that classroom and teach.
Especially if they're doing it. That's right.
Like it doesn't make it makes no sense. But the concern, and then it goes back onto the parents. When your child come home and tell you they have no teacher, you have to pick up the phone and say something. You just can't be like thinking the school is going to do right for your child. You have to be that advocate. It doesn't take much but a phone call or email. A phone
However,
call or email.
however, let's stop right there for a minute though, Alicia. How many times we had to call? How many emails we had to send? How many pop-ups we had to do? Every parent can't do that. And when I do that, I gotta contact my admin and say, I gotta stop by over to the school because I gotta make sure that my children's needs are being met before I go over there and educate other people's children. So we know that ain't an easy task.
It's not, but if we all do it together,
That's the
because
goal.
we all,
I get it.
and
I get what
that's
you're
what
saying.
and that's what I get upset because my son over at Middleton, he's on the football team. We can meet up at that football game, scream, holler, cheer, shout, the music, all the not just because I'm big on football. Not only just football, the band, the acting, every other thing at that school we show up for. If we could show up and click up to celebrate that, we could show up and click up to send them emails. We could all make one email and all send. It doesn't take much, but it just takes a step in the right direction. Like the bullying at Armwood, it's gonna take us as a community to step up because there's no way that my child will be at a school and feel like if she says the wrong thing to the wrong child, she's gonna get beat up. No, not today, not no day ever, never, never, no. But those kids are coming out of Silver Oaks, still not getting supported, still not getting what they need, knowing the living conditions they're coming out of, going into Armwood.
That whole situation with the parent sharing how that incident went with her child just broke my heart because it sounds as though she has been trying to get support from the school, from the district level, and to no avail. There has been no resolve beside her having to relocate her child to a different school, two different schools, is from what I understood, in order to meet her child's needs. And I'm just trying to figure out, how do we allow that to happen? Yes, we understand there's more to it. There's some intricate parts, but just that piece of it isn't enough in order to get an immediate response to where collectively that fight should not be hers alone.
We have said over and over again, we as parents at Elmwood have expressed that the principal need to go. She has done her time there. We appreciate what she has done and all the good politics stuff to say, but she got to go. Enough is enough. You're not there to do, our kids don't feel safe. We have kids coming from other schools, getting on Armwood property, fighting, dropping guns. Our kids don't feel safe. You're not validating how we're feeling. You really don't care. So it's time for you to go. And it's okay. And they change principals from schools that need to stay, but when it's time is up for that principal, they want to keep them just because they know her or she's one of the good ones. It's time for her to go.
I just don't know how much more can actually be said to where it's not always viewed as it's the same people saying the same thing that's trying to highlight the issues that's going on for the inner city children. Like, do we see anybody else saying something? Like I feel like I'm in a like in a time warp. Like it's like we're saying the same thing. There has to be other teachers on campuses that see these issues going on. There has to be other parents that are seeing this know what's going on, and can't, I mean, what is it going to take? Is somebody's child going to have to be murdered on a campus before we get a response, or severely hurt before we get a response, action out of the community,
It's going,
action out of the
and that's what it's going to
organizations?
take. That's what it's going to take, and that's unfortunate to say, because it's not going, the ones that's going to be doing the most crying and pointing fingers are going to be the ones that say, well, we didn't know. We didn't know that was happening. Oh, you didn't call me. Oh, like, that's what it's going to be. We're going to have all these Black and brown boys not walking across that stage next year, and it's going to affect their graduation quota. And then they're going to be like, oh, well, we tried. When? Because I know for a fact my child is over there in Middleton, he's going to have a tutor, and they're going to pay for it because you got FTE dollars for him. Where the money at? He needs a tutor, and you're going to provide him one.
Now, that is a good question that you bring up. If they have not had a teacher, there has not been any standards attached to this particular class or curriculum, consistent curriculum, it would be interesting to know who signed the document saying that they taught this class and dollars collected for those children. It's a great question. It's a valid question. Who signed off on it? Who? To where they're saying that a child sat in front of them for over 50%. I just would like to see it. Who? And you're right, they do need tutors. And I got some on a report card that says NG. I don't even know what that means. No grade. How? How not? It's not making any sense.
Because that's probably the period he sat in the auditorium and played cards and dominoes and chess all day because no teacher showed up to teach that class. That's probably where that NG come from.
It comes a point where there was even a time where they had conversations at the school board meeting on yesterday about, excuse me, the NAACP. We don't get into the whole conversation about what an organization is not doing. We just focus on what we can do and move forward. We used to get caught up in all that, but after a while, I had to pull you off the ledge plenty of time. Let's just push forward because they're not. But I'm so highly concerned that, there's a whole conversation around, the voting and the this and the that. But that too is a place that has a pillar that focuses around education. With all that's going on in our district, have we heard anything from them? No.
No age, no NAACP, no fraternities that goes to the school and take pictures, no fraternities, no National Coalition of 100 Black Women, no National Coalition of 100 Black Men. I can go down the list, and none of them has said anything. Why? Because most of those organizations, which is crazy, don't like conflict. They don't want to ruffle feathers or call, but our children are suffering because you want to be silent, yet we want to say we don't know why the gun violence is the way it is.
And I thought the majority of those organizations have a foundation of addressing adversity and happen to move forward with some type of conflict in order to bring about justice on the other side to where equality was provided for everyone. Maybe I'm missing something, because those are the premises for the majority of the organizations I thought you spoke of. But once again, I don't know too much about some of them, but the ones that I have been affiliated with, you're absolutely right. NAACP, National Coalition of 100 Black Women, and even OES. I agree. There is some premises behind that. If we could just have help to have conversations about what's going wrong for our children in education. For those
I don't want to talk, Carl. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. If you're not coming with no action items, we done talked enough. We got the data. We got enough. We done talked enough. If you're not coming to the table with a solution and say, I'm finna do X, Y, Z to help these Black boys, don't call my phone. Don't text me. Don't call me. Don't message me. Don't inbox me. Don't do none of it. I am tired of the talking. I'm tired of meeting up to eat, to take pictures, to say we met, to say we go do something. I am tired. I am tired. Our boys deserve way more than what they're getting. Yet I don't want to do it. If you not don't call, if you ain't got no solution, don't call and say why I said what I said, because I said what I said, because I'm grown. Like I'm tired. Why do we have to keep yelling and saying the same thing to help kids that we know live in East Tampa that need the help? This ain't new. These situations ain't new. Y'all knew y'all to have teachers last year. You had all summer to fill in the gap and provide teachers for those kids. You go to Middleton, all the other side, the magnet program, have teachers. How is that okay? And what the worst part of it, the kids from the community can't even go to the magnet program. They're not even in the magnet program to even utilize the teachers on the other side. Stop playing.
The help is needed, and the help is not through words. The help is through action. You live in this community, you're buying up, for those buying up properties in the community, for those that say they're invested in the community. The first investment got to be these kids.
Elected officials and all.
That I agree.
Because those same boys that are junior this year will be voters next year. And they will remember the ones that sat silent when they go and vote next year. Because I'm gonna make sure all of them are registered voters. Because you're quiet now, but next year you're gonna want them to vote for you. Next year you're gonna be knocking on their doors, asking them and their parents, "Oh, work for your vote." You didn't work this year. You're quiet this year. Be quiet next year too.
Those same surveys that we so quick to say that are happening as it relates to test the climate of schools, they couldn't have sent anyone out there over there recently at specific schools. Because one thing about it, there's no way that this should be happening in this capacity at Middleton. There's no way incidents that such should have happened at Woodson. There's no way. Yes, some mistakes can happen, but mistakes that could be deadly can't happen. And
but I do know one thing that's happened at Middleton that's happened consistently. They're gonna have them dogs to search them children. But we can't get no teachers. But we can get somebody to come search them book bags and make sure they're intimidating our kids with the police. We gonna get that on a regular basis. But it's supposed to be what work they it's not supposed to be they random. Ain't nothing random about them being there at Middleton almost every week. That ain't random. Let's call it intimidation.
And then, the process in general is the kids don't even know why the dogs are there. The dogs are sniffing each child before they walk past. Law enforcement isn't interacting with them. Like, how would you feel? I mean, we've seen across the world, with the the what you call it, the violence with guns. And just imagine you arriving at school and there's dogs at the gate. Like, who wants to be greeted like that? Who? That would create such anxiety for me and for children that have anxiety. How do you think that makes them feel? It surely doesn't make them feel protected, especially when they're not.
Cobb, like I said yesterday at that meeting, I'm tired. I'm tired of asking for the same things over and over again, asking for things that should be happening anyways. I'm just tired. It makes no sense. We causing more and more trauma for our kids, and no one cares. No one cares.
The same level of empathy, equity, requirements, expectations that schools that are not in the inner city have from our leadership in Hillsborough County needs to be exhibited across the district. It can't be a one little, two little, three little Indian situation. It just got to be all children, no specifics, just children, to where blanketly they all feel that they are valued, respected, and cared for when they go into a school. Yes, you're going to have some of them that's going to act like hellions. Yes, that's without question. Some of them are going to do that. But every day they're given a new opportunity to walk across the threshold and give it another try. Every day. Trust me, I got 4 of them. 4 this minute. 2 out of the 4 gonna give y'all a run for your money every day. Every day. But you best believe there is support at home. Don't even think there's not support at many of our homes that's trying to do their best to send a better child to you all every day. But they got to be given the tools and the resources to do so when they get there. They can't have so much against them before they even walk in the freaking door. They can
When you
see
have
how they're
kids
treated.
saying, I'm sorry, but when you have kids saying that they know they don't care about them, what type of reaction or what do they expect for the kids to give them? They feel that those adults in those schools, in those rooms, don't care about them. So what type of expectations or what are they expecting from them? Kids know when someone cares for them. Kids know when it's genuine. And they're playing. Stop playing with our kids, making money off our children. Stop.
I'm just going to say this. Stop so immediately classifying concerned parents, concerned advocates as disgruntled and angry, as if we don't have reason to be. Unless you're going to give yourselves the same level as unprofessional, ineffective, unconcerned, lack of empathy, reckless. If you're not going to pull that trigger back and give those same type titles, don't do it. The incident that happened at Woodson last week could have easily been converted to a civility letter because of my anger. My anger did not turn into having inappropriate language with the adults on campus. My language did not happen to lead to want to be combative or physical with anyone on the staff, because it wasn't going to help anything. But my anger was because of the disregard of my anger when I'm trying to identify what was going on at that moment. That's what my anger was. And my anger was shared with my friend over the phone before I allowed myself to have out of character experience that I could not recover from. We want to hold everybody accountable, but for those that have the power to make the biggest difference, enough is enough. Stop with the lip service. Do something. We're already in the second week of the new quarter, second and third. I lose track. I just teach. And as of this week right here, same situations that has occurred for my nephew are occurring right now. Where is the plan? LTE forms was just signed off on. Where's the plan? because I have to account for the kids that was on my roster before I signed for them. And I stated legally that I taught those children. Not send them from room to room to room. Not place them in front of a sub for over a high percentage. It's not fair and it's not right. And we're expecting something different. No, the solution for mine is not to take them out and go to charter school. That's not the solution. The solution is the district makes it right. And the question is how? How are we going to make it right for my family while I'm teaching other people's family to making sure that their children are getting what they need? How do they make it right? That's the question. Not avoid the conversation, not devalue what's going on, not to invalidate what has happened. Take ownership of it, be accountable for it, and identify how we're going to move forward. That's what I want to know. I've said,
and that's all I want to know. What are we going to do? My child is not going to sit in another 9 weeks without a teacher. We're not doing that. We're not. So I don't know what district employee is going to come sit in that classroom, but somebody needs to. Somebody needs to.
And maybe
he's not doing it.
And maybe some fidelity checks on the classrooms that we know don't have consistent teachers or a consistent plan in place to be able to see how are the children feeling. And also, have anybody even spoken to the children how they feel about all the law enforcement that is constantly on the campus?
No.
And nobody explains what's happening. We got to do better. We expecting better. Our children deserve better. That's why the requirements must be met. Our children need to be in front of somebody that is caring enough about them, that's going to be there consistently enough to provide curriculum that is directed or in alignment with what it is that they need in order to successfully pass whatever assessments that's put in front of them. And that don't mean send Gomer Pyle and someone from the military there in front of them at this point, not meaning the title, just someone so strict. That's not going to have to start and build that foundation with relationship building first. We talk about PBIS. We talk about all of that. We talk about relationship building. We talk about all that. Where are the relationships for these kids that have just been shifted from room to room to room to room? Yes, we have expectations for them. Where are the expectations on the other side from all the adults? Where?
Because the parents going to do that part. We'll do our part. But the teachers have to do their part. You want parents to show up, we're going to show up. You want parents to donate, we're going to do that. But where y'all at? At this point, Addison Davis can come teach the classroom. I don't care. Van Ayers can come teach it. I don't care. Somebody better be in that classroom.
I think most of them, I don't even know them enough to even say that. I don't know what they taught, if they ever taught. So, because you know me, I really could care less about all of that.
I don't care what they taught, but they come teach that class.
I don't know I don't even know if they ever did to even know. So I don't know. But all I know, they can make it look good if they come on. Somebody come that cares.
Well, we have enough people making lesson plans from people, so they really ain't got to do much work. We got enough of that. So we got them a lesson plan to get them started.
Parents, we need you all to reach out, ask questions, don't know where to start. We always say phone call away, email away, text away. But we can't be the same voices all the time, because then it becomes a matter of, well, I can only talk to you about your child. You can't be concerned about what's going on to the other children in the classroom. And that right
there is a behavior issue. It's a behavior issue, they'll call you.
That's so
They'll call you when there's a
disheartening.
behavior issue. They blow your phone up when there's a behavior issue. They want to be able to talk to you then. But when it's academic and you calling them out on things they should be doing, now they can't talk. Stop playing.
And you know, don't even go there with me. Or when it's look behavior issue to a place to where they're not fully staffed, and because they're not fully staffed, then the behaviors that the child is experiencing must be because of the problems at home. So therefore, it got to be abuse at home. Don't get me going with that. But I will say this: all we want is for what's best for all of our children in this district. I really could care less what color they are. I'll teach them all. But I do know that there is a disparity between the quality of education that's happened for the children in inner city that are not in magnet programs. That's a fact. That's not a question. That's a fact. And we're looking for something different. We need something different. They require something different. They deserve something different. Help us. Help us. Don't keep putting up barriers in them before they even walk in the door. We had over 9 weeks to do something different. Yes, we know COVID. We got it. Yes, there's a teacher shortage. Yes, we got it. We get that. That's not the question. The question is, what's plan B? What are we doing to make sure that they don't continue at the same pace doing what they've done, which is achieve nothing? That amount of time can never be recaptured in their lives. We cannot go back and reclaim that time. It's just gone. We do know that okay, I'm not going to go there. That's all I have. Inbox, call, send a postcard, the bird with the pigeon with the card on the toe. I don't know, but we need something to happen. And the only way we're going to get something done, like Erlisha said, is collectively. And it don't take a whole lot. 10 or 12 people, that's all. We keep saying that. It don't take a whole lot. Because with them 10 or 12, if they could just capture the attention of 2 or 3, and it spirals that way, we can't even get the damn attention of the 10 to 12. But we telling you what's happening. We allow us to just deal and have to go through these issues alone, knowing it's happening.
If you're not calling with no solutions, don't call me, don't text me. Don't send nothing my way. If you ain't got no solutions, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to take no pictures with you. I don't want to do none of that. None of it. None of it. I don't want no fake concern call. I don't want no, I'm sorry that's happening. I don't want it.
I don't want I'm sorry that's happening either. I don't want that no more either.
Keep it.
I want something done. Well, that's it. You know, we have a lot to, make up, because we'll make up stuff when we go and sugarcoat. You saw I came straight in and that's what we had to say. But we needed clarity on it. We need to let you know what's, our experience with parent advocacy, our experience with family advocacy, our experiences. Don't invalidate my experience. Don't say it was something that it was not, because I know exactly what it was. If I am capable of, anyway, I said what I said. All right. Anything else you want to add, Alicia?
No. Just to follow up with your nephew's D. He has an F, and we're not going for that. So
and the question becomes,
oh girl,
how when they have not been in front of a teacher? Huh?
Quinn, Mr. Quinn, Sonny Boyd. I don't give. They better fix that ASAP.
How can you award a grade for content that has not been taught? I just want to know, how do you do that?
They're self-teaching, so they should self-grade.
Well, what you think about that? Since you taught yourself, do you think you should give yourself your own grade since you've not had a consistent teacher? Do you think you should be able to pick your own grade? So if you're saying that you didn't have a teacher in front of you, how can the teacher grade? How can the teacher give you a grade? How can they give you a
D? They said I have an F?
No, that's the other person.
Oh.
How can they give you that grade?
I don't know.
How do you feel about that?
Like I shouldn't have a
D. It's simple. See how simple that was? Like I shouldn't have a D. It's simple to him. But we have a focus on the earbuds, not bothering nobody, shutting out all the madness that's going on around him that he feels that's the cursing out adults and each other that he does not engage in. He gets every day when the phone scenario is an issue. Yes, we address it in this household. We do. But I get it. It's an escape to get out of the space that he's in. Excusable? No, not saying that. Understandable? Yes. So we say this. My tax dollars do two things for me. They pay for my children's education in Hillsborough County, and they provide for my income out of Hillsborough County. On the income side, I go to work. I teach kids bell to bell, Title I school, bell to bell, without question. Any child on that campus know if they need something, parent, whatever it is, we'll advocate for them without question. Any of them. Colleagues too. Now, we ain't going to get the fluff, sugarcoat. We're going to ask questions and try to identify how to correct it and move better. But they know. One thing about it, what I do is genuine. I need that same trait to be reciprocated for my children. Genuine, caring, love, consistency, realistic expectations, not award him or them for something that they did not earn. I need change. I need something different. And trust me, if it's happening to mines, I know for sure it's happening to the 20, 30 others. What is it, like 27, 28 in your class? So the response to that was the numbers significantly dropped, and that would either be because they skipped the class, just stopped showing up because there's no teacher anyway. What do you want him to do? But he's coming. He's showing up. Maybe late, but he's coming. May go to sleep, but he's coming. We need something different. We're expecting different. Have a conversation about what y'all gonna do. Then let us know what we're doing. Don't do something. My little one is yawning because he's extremely tired, and we need to go over rules again for tomorrow so he can have a great day like he did the last 2 days. High five.
Yes, and I just picked up mine. We finna eat some McDonald's and we tired over here. And I'll be at school in the morning.
To meet about the meet.
I got time. So we don't do elves over here. I don't know what else. We ain't doing no elves over here. We ain't got no fellas over here.
How? The only failure was them not having a teacher. Oops. Excuse me. All right, guys. It was good. Enough is enough. Help us by helping our kids. It's been real. Good night.